In this session, we are going to understand Android permissions assignment. To understand Android permissions assignment, we will look into some files which will associate low-level group IDs with permission names. This type of mapping, once done, it says that any application process granted the given permission will also be running with the given group ID attached to its process. So it can perform any file system read, write, execute operation allowed for that group. Let's get started. Here on the console, I have got a reverse shell access to an Android device. If we execute ls command, you can see that we get access to the file system of our Android device. Now here you can see that this is the file system of our Linux device. At this moment, we are currently working at the data system directory. Within this data system directory, we have a file known as packages.list and another file is known as packages.xml, which makes you understand the permissions allotted to an application. Let us just check packages.xml. Once we execute this packages.xml, you can see that a big file has been opened in front of you. Let me just explain you what it offers. This file actually allots a package. It tells where the code for that package stays, what is the native library path for the application, if it has a signature allotted, and if it has a certificate allotted. So there are many packages available in Android device, but at the moment I would like to show you an application package which belongs to Hackweda. We have created an application here at the bottom. Let's say we have an application known as Hackweda devanshu.hackweda.uservice. This application is stalled with this directory /data/app devanshu.hackweda.userservice1.apk. This application does have a signature. We have one signature allotted with this application, and this application has a signing certificate as well. These are the signatures information for this application. Third, for this application we have a permission allotted, and name of the permission is android.permission.sendsms. Now, once this permission is allotted to this application, my application will be able to send SMS. Moreover, according to Android permissions mapping, any group ID which is associated to send SMS permission and the permissions, the file system permissions allotted to that group ID will also be accessible by this application. So once if this application gets compromised by an attacker, that attacker will get access to read, write and execute permissions allotted to group IDs for this permission. Let's understand the group IDs associated with the permission send SMS. To understand this, we are going to go to the bottom of the shell, and here what we will do, we are going to write. Here we are currently in the data system directory, but we have to move to the permissions directory. The permissions directory is actually available within your root directory, within etc., within permission. Let's change the directory. So at the moment it's permissions/etc/permissions. If we do print working directory, you can see that currently we are at /system/etc/permissions. If we execute an ls statement here, you can see that we get a file known as platform.xml. This platform.xml keep track of all the permission and group ID mapping. Let's open the file cat platform.xml. Once we execute this, let's go to the top and let's understand what we have got. So now, once we have executed this application, go to a little bottom here. So here we executed the code cat platform.xml, and now we have got access to this file. And what this file defines, this file is used to define the mappings between lower level system user and group IDs and higher level permission names managed by the platform. Now let's go down and you can see that it's pre-written here. We have to be very careful. If any mistakes have been done on this file, big security holes will open. Now what we have to do is, let's understand, the bottom tags defines association between low level group IDs with the permission names, and by specifying such a mapping we are saying that any application process granted the given permission will also be running with the given group ID attached to its process, so it can perform any file system read write execute operations allowed for that group. So let's do that. So here you can see that in my previous application, which was hackveda.devanshu.uservice, we have an SMS permission. So we like to look for the SMS permissions here. And now you can see that here we have the permission send SMS and it has access to group shell. So if anything, any file system operation like read write execute allotted to shell will also be allotted to my application hackveda.uservice. So in case if an attacker gets access to some buffer overflow attacks in my application, he will be able to execute his commands with the shell privileges as well. So now let's understand the permissions granted to the shell are here. So you can see that shell has got many access. Permissions granted to the shell will be, shell has access to all the permissions like this here. And if we go down a little bit and we can see that the individual permissions allotted to shell. So let's say in case if we see here, if Bluetooth permission is allotted, then the group ID is netBT admin, and if any read write permission is allotted to netBT admin, that permission will be allotted to my hackveda.uservice. In the same way, Bluetooth permissions for netBT has been allotted. iNet permissions for the group will also be allotted to our application hackveda.uservice. So now this permission mapping is very important. In case if this application gets compromised, then user will have access to read write execute operations which are allotted to group for that permission. So in the later sessions we will understand how we can perform attacks on applications and how we will gain these file system permissions awarded to user, and we will be exploiting the system. I hope you understand how permissions are mounted to group IDs and to applications in Android device. Thank you for watching.